Zach was a quiet and unassuming teenager who worked at the local bank. He had always been something of an outcast, but he kept to himself and never caused any trouble. But little did anyone know, Zach was hiding a dark secret. He was a serial killer. He had always been fascinated by death and had been collecting information about serial killers for years. He idolized the likes of Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy, and he dreamed of one day being just like them. But what really set Zach off was his crush on a girl named Olivia. She worked at the bank with him, and Zach had been infatuated with her for months. He would watch her every day, taking note of her routines and habits. He was convinced that she was the one, and he would stop at nothing to have her. One day, Zach finally decided that it was time to make his move. He waited until closing time, when the bank was empty, and he locked the doors. Olivia was the last one to leave, and Zach followed her out to her car.
Olivia,
He said, his voice trembling with excitement.
I've been wanting to tell you something for a long time.
But before he could say anything, Olivia let out a scream and ran away. Zach was furious. He couldn't believe that she had rejected him. He decided then and there that she needed to die. He began to stalk Olivia, following her everywhere she went. He would watch her through her window, and he would leave her notes and gifts. He was convinced that if he could just get her alone, he could make her see that they were meant to be together. But Olivia was terrified. She could feel Zach's eyes on her everywhere she went, and she knew that he was dangerous. She confided in her friends and family, but they didn't take her seriously. They thought she was just being paranoid. But one day, Zach's stalking turned into action. He broke into Olivia's house in the middle of the night, intent on killing her. But Olivia had been expecting him, and she had called the police. When Zach broke into her room, he was met with a swarm of officers, guns drawn. He was arrested and charged with attempted murder, stalking, and burglary. But even as he sat in his prison cell, Zach couldn't stop thinking about Olivia. He knew that he would never stop until he had her, and he would do whatever it takes to make it happen. Years passed. Zach was sentenced to life in prison, but he never gave up on his obsession with Olivia. He would spend his days writing letters to her and thinking of ways to escape and finish what he started. The memory of him lingered in Olivia's mind, and the fear of him never went away. She changed her name and moved far away, but she could never forget the deranged teenager who almost took her life. And deep down, she knew that Zach was still out there, waiting for his chance to finish what he started. Olivia thought she had finally left her past behind. She had changed her name and moved to a different city, starting a new life for herself. She got married and had children, and she never looked back. But just when she thought she was safe, she received a letter in the mail. It was from Zach. He had finally managed to escape from prison, and he was coming for her. He wrote about how he had been thinking about her every day and how he couldn't wait to be reunited with her. Olivia was terrified. She knew that she had to do something before it was too late. She contacted the police and told them everything. They put her under protection and started a nationwide manhunt for Zach. But even as the police searched for him, Olivia couldn't shake the feeling that he was always one step ahead. One night, Olivia was home alone. Her husband and children were away on a trip. She heard a noise from the living room, and she knew it was him. She could feel him. She could feel his presence in the house. She slowly made her way towards the noise, her heart pounding in her chest. As she reached the living room, she saw him. Zach was standing in the middle of the room, a knife in his hand.
I told you, Olivia, you can't run from me,
he said, a barren look in his eyes.
Please, just leave me alone.
Olivia pleaded, her voice shaking.
I can't do that, my love. I need you,
Zach said as he approached closer to her. Olivia knew she had to act fast, or it was the end. She found a metal lamp on the table and grabbed it quickly. She aimed and threw it at Zach's head. He stumbled and fell to the ground, becoming unconscious, giving Olivia enough time to run out of the house and call for help. The police arrived just in time and arrested Zach. He was later sentenced to life in prison for his crimes. The town would always remember the name Zach, the deranged teenager who became a notorious serial killer. His name would always be associated with fear and terror. And for Olivia, it would always be a constant reminder of the darkest time of her life, a time when she was almost taken by a monster who hid behind a facade of normalcy. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and help this channel grow. We have more scary stories to keep you up at night.